So now that we have kind of talked about our personal experiences and kind of what our red flags were that kind of went off to that we realized we were in depression, what are some things you wish you would have done? Now that we are looking at hindsight, what's some stuff you wish you would have done?
I wish I would have slowed down. In the moment, I thought that, it's holidays, it's birthdays, it's all the stuff I'm gonna have to do. In my mind, that was gonna be a good thing. It turned out to not be a good thing. So, you know how people say, oh, you don't need to stay in the bed and all that. Like, I wish I would have took more moments to just, like, be with myself, with my feelings. Like, I might have had those moments, like, if I cried in the morning or cried at night. But I really wish I would have took more time to just be with myself and to be with my feelings. Like, I really should have been digging deeper than what I was versus just being like, let me focus on this or let me focus on that. Like, I really wish I would have paid attention to what I was feeling. I wish I would have been more vocal about the fact that, like, I was not okay. I think that, like I said, for me, that's not always my role. I feel like my husband, you, like my friend Ashley, people like that will kind of be like, Brittany, like, I hear you, but no, I don't know what the fuck, but that's not okay. I wish outside of people picking up on it or, me just explaining something and then somebody having to say to me, like, Brittany, you probably not all right. Right. I wish I would have vocalized that more and been more apologetic about the fact that, like, I have experienced something dramatic. Life is happening to me in the, like, most horrible way. And, like, I just need somebody to understand that, like, I'm like on the floor in pieces right now. I wish I would have said that. I wish I would have made it a priority to go back to therapy. Because right after I had the chemical pregnancy, I think I went to like 2 sessions. And then I stopped because of the insurance stuff. But I kept saying, I need to find a new therapist. Oh, I gotta find a new therapist.
I think it was like 2 months. It was like 2 months.
It was.
You actually started looking.
It was literally 2 months. And some of that was on me because, going to a new therapist, you don't want to go to a new doctor. You don't want to go to a new hairstylist. You don't want to go to a new nail salon. You don't want to go to anybody new. You just don't.
Pause. You had anxiety about having to find
I did. It gave me severe anxiety to start over.
And I was like, did you need to read your own blog post? Like,
girl, giving people advice and can't take my own. So I had all this anxiety, and lo and behold, I love my new therapist. Like, she's literally taking my life to new heights. Yes. But I wish I just would have, like, gotten over that fear of, like, oh my God, I gotta start over. I gotta re-explain this stuff to somebody. Because I think that had I would have been in therapy immediately, or at least, like, shortly after I originally started with my first therapist, I don't feel like my crash and burn would have been that bad.
Right. I agree.
I don't feel like things would have felt as light in the moment, even though they were heavy in the moment. I think I would have known, like, oh shit, bitch, this is like spinning out of control. I think I would have been able to see that more versus going months later and waking up one day and I was like, what the fuck? I got like, it's like cloud is like not leaving from over my head. I can't get myself together. How about you?
So I wish I would have acknowledged myself more versus me just being like, this is something I'm going through. Because even when I was deep in it, I remember my boyfriend at the time, that's what I was always saying. I'm just going through something right now. I need you to give me space. I wish I would have been more delicate with myself. I wish I would have taken in consideration the feelings that I was feeling up until before I left. And like really sat down instead of just being like, Shawana, they're just feelings. They're temporary. You're going to be okay. I wish I would have really sat down to be like, no, you feel this way. You need to acknowledge that you feel this way. And you need to figure out why. I feel like had I done that, a lot of the decisions I made I would not have made. And I just, that is believe it or not, one of the hardest things that current day, now I feel like I'm a lot better. I spend a lot of time with myself now. Part of it, not by choice, but part of it, I really enjoy being alone now because I was forced to be alone for so long. So now, because I'm so in tune with myself, like, I have to learn to be delicate with me. I'm just to get up and go, like, help everybody, like, motivate everybody because I want to see everybody win. And that helps me feel like I'm winning when I'm motivating other people to win. I'm not delicate with myself. I don't treat myself like something that should be taken time with or something that should even be focused on. I don't like being the focus of stuff a lot of times. As much as I love being like I guess like by a spouse or a mate, like I like the attention, but I don't like being the focus, if that makes sense at all. So I learned I really wish I would have focused on me and what I was feeling versus looking at ahead. And that's probably light bulb. That's probably why when I was depressed I couldn't see out. Because that's my MO. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel regardless of how I feel.
Let me focus on that.
And let me focus on that versus how I feel. No, I was forced to focus on my thoughts and how I felt. And I think, as bad as I felt, I thank God for it because it ain't too much I'm not about to focus on now as far as myself because I just realized how, even as a mom, like important it is for me to be able to identify those things so that I'm not even shedding toxic stuff down to my child. When my baby noticed that I wasn't good, like when I came back home, I was only gone for 3 weeks, y'all. Couldn't do it. But when I came back home, the depression actually got worse when I came home. But when I realized he noticed it, and he kept asking me, "Are you sick? Like, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "What does he see that I don't?" And I saw my face. That's when I knew, like, all right, I'm not going out like this. I don't want my baby to see me this way. I need to really figure out what I can do, because at the time my insurance had lapsed at the time, so I couldn't even go back to my therapist. So it was just like I had to start finding ways, and that's when I started focusing on me. I started meditating more. I have to say majorly, I could go into detail, but just focusing on me. I never do that. I'm always focused on something else.
You are. So I'm not going to argue you there. You definitely do. But
Brittany,
yes.
What are some tips that you would give to our viewers and our listeners on what you can do to come out of, to help you, get out of your depression?
I know this is like cliche. People don't want to hear it. I'm biased. I'm in the mental health field. I wish people would just go to therapy. I wish they would just go to therapy. I think there's this stigma and this idea that they have to go and talk about all this old stuff, talking about their whole entire life, when in reality, you don't have time for that in your 1 hour session.
Right.
Sometimes it is necessary depending upon what you go for. However, they are more focused on present day. How can I get you from point A to point B? So a lot of times they're trying to give you a solution to help you get over whatever, like in the shortest amount of time. So I think people need to understand you can talk to Jesus, you can pray, and you can go to therapy.
So
like, you can do all of that. I was doing it weekly. I'm only going to therapy bi-weekly now. But you can do that. Like, it's totally fine. Like, therapists and counselors are here for a reason.
Yes.
That's one thing. 2, I think people need to be honest with themselves first and foremost. So if you are feeling a certain way, you feel that way. I think they need to be honest with other people. So if you feel some sort of way, tell other people around you, look, I'm not fine. Like I said, for me, people were picking up on things and they were kind of like, Brittany, that don't sound right. Shawana line is usually, Brittany, your anxiety is really high right now. Instead of all of that having to happen, just say, I feel this way because, and then it's out there, like it's done. I'm not saying you have to give people an explanation, but I think when people around you are affected by your depression, you might need to tell them, like, I have a lot going on right now. If you don't hear from me, I'm okay. I think like you just kind of need to give people a heads up, because you know, if you're like me and my anxiety starts going crazy, I might think, you know, you might try to slit your wrist or something, and then my mind has snowballed. Then I'm gonna try to come to your house and be like, yeah, you trying to go out today because I don't know what you got going on. So Shawana's laughing because she knows that I really real life do this. So holding yourself accountable is another one. I think that we get so caught up in what happened to us, how things happen. I think we need to be realistic about our part in it, what we can do to get out of it, things of that nature. And I think that's pretty much it. Just being self-aware. Like, if you notice that stuff you used to enjoy is no longer enjoyable, you're losing interest in things, you may be sleeping more, you don't want to get out the house, and that's not like you. Yeah, and some of that stuff you're just gonna have to feel for a little bit, and that's gonna be that.
So to piggyback off of what Brittany said, I think that was very key what she said about letting other people know how you feel up front, because that is also going to help you with something else that we talked about as far as knowing who you can and cannot talk to you under your depression, because they're either going to acknowledge what you said and within boundaries, like they can be there for you, or they're going to act like they don't care, or they're going to disregard the fact that you feel this way. This is going to help you figure out who's your support system during this time. Is this really a relationship I need to be putting time into, XYZ? So I would say being okay with not being okay.
Yes.
That was a big major thing for me. That's because hard for me to do. I take a lot of pride in being a positive person. I take a lot of pride in being able to come out of whatever I'm feeling. So, but it was almost like a self-loathe I had going on during the time of my depression, because I felt like I couldn't see my way out, and I'm like, I don't want to be this person. This is the person that I am right now, and that's also a part of being realistic with what you have going on. So being realistic, being okay with not being okay, and also doing something different on the days where you feel like, because every day it's not going to be like a super down in the dump day. While you might not be okay, you may have a little bit more energy this day. Or you might, feel the notion that maybe you need some type of social companionship. So on those days, do something you don't normally do. For me, I wish I would have went outside more. But some days I really couldn't get up to go outside. But on the days where I felt okay, rather than me getting up and just watching TV, going outside. If you sit in leggings and a big t-shirt every week or every day, on the days that you feel a little bit better, actually put real clothes on. If you've been eating junk food and fast food all week because you're depressed, the day you feel a little better, cook that day. Maybe you haven't talked to your friends all week because you just weren't in the space to. You feel a little better, call your friend and talk for 5 minutes.
Shawana, how are you present day? Now that we are coming out on the other side, how are you? What are you doing different? What changes have you implemented from what you've experienced?
So current day, I meditate a lot. Now I know that this time of my meditation is going to decrease because I'm about to be working again. But I have to do that at least in the morning, or I don't feel like my day goes right. I pray a lot. I write a lot. I write every day. I make sure that I stay connected with people that I feel like are my support system. Current day, what are some of the things that you're doing different from when you were in your depression?
I've been calling this time purging season. And I'm calling it that because not that December 31st is going to be my, be done with everything, but from being in therapy and from this book I'm reading about the art of letting go, the doctor who wrote it basically says that things tend to linger within us because we don't want to feel the feelings that come with our emotions and thoughts. So we try to, avoid it or do things to get rid of the feeling because it makes us uncomfortable. So what I have been doing, anything that I feel, I sit in it. It has been working because I've even noticed from like week to week, if I think about something that happened, it doesn't affect me the same. Right. Or I'm not thinking about it as much as I was before, because I will literally allow myself to feel whatever I need to feel, whatever feeling the thought or emotion brings. I let it do what it got to do, and that's gonna be it. what else have I been doing? So, like you said, basically utilizing my support system, being around good energy, and like just a good time. Not even like turning up, but you know, just being around people who like want to have good conversation, or like they have good vibes, or just all of that. Being appreciative of my support system. Doing a lot of reflecting, and Shawana had to remind me of this. So when I looked at 2019, I kind of just looked at it from the standpoint of my chemical pregnancy and everything that happened with that, and all the bad stuff that happened over the summer, versus all the stuff I accomplished this year, because I did accomplish a lot of things. And Shawana had to remind me of that, so thank you.
You're welcome.
So now, in my time of reflecting, I try to remember what I've done, the good I've done, what I've accomplished, and basically just looking forward to 2020 and what is to come with 2020. Shawana's probably gonna cringe at this because I have 2020 on mute on Twitter. I have muted manifestation and manifest, affirmation and affirm, because people are gonna affirm and manifest me to death, and I can't stand it.
And that's my life, y'all, but I've been doing it forever.
Yeah, Shawana is like this. That was her thing before it was popular. So I don't want that stuff interfering with my thoughts.
Right.
So just kind of being clear about what I want 2020 to look like for me. Like, granted, I'm not obviously in control of when or how things happen, but just kind of, you know, okay, I accomplished XYZ this year. What new things do I want to tackle next year? But for the most part, overall, there were a lot of good things that came from 2019.
You have to know what's realistic for you. And the only way that you can do that is spending time with yourself. You spend a lot of time and enjoy a lot of time on other people and jobs, and but you have to take that same energy and that same time and put it into yourself. That's the only way you're going to know what works for you. I think we covered it. We covered it all. That was a lot, but we hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes.
This has been our first episode of Couch Conversation.
We have no idea. We're just talking.
We doing it. So when you see it, you see it.
Yeah. So you never see another video, don't say shit.
Right. Oh well. But we gonna put it out there that it may be, but if it doesn't, this one you needed this.
If you don't see another one till August, then oh well. It's just, you know, we had some shit to get off our chest because we have been like in the dumps,
in the trenches,
literally. But so now that we're out,
we want to help y'all come out.
Yeah.
So and that's it.
Bye.